Today, Clem and Dark and company will take on Clem, Dark and company. I don't know why I said it like that. That doesn't really make sense. Clem, Dark, Jieshi, and Christiana will be taking each other on. Start with Clem vs Christiana, followed by Dark versus Jieshi, and then the winner's match, loser's match, and decided match. That's how today is gonna go. So I hope you're all ready for it. Hope you're all excited for some Starcraft 2. I certainly am myself, as we have a couple of videos coming online. Should get ready to roll in just a few moments. And kick this off. We're going to have some OSC Championship action after as well, guys. Gonna see how we are doing for time. Because, yeah, a couple of things to think on today, but I think we should be good. And should have a bunch of games coming up for you guys. So yeah, should be a good time. Alrighty. A bunch more Royal Match things coming through than I thought, actually. Didn't realize so many were going to be coming in already. Wow. I knew there was a couple to come through, but there's a bunch more than I thought. So thank you so much if you're one of those people checking out Royal Match and helping us out with the sponsor. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright, I'm pretty much ready to go, guys. Sorry for the delay. We're just waiting for the players to veto still, actually, so a couple more moments, nothing too crazy. What's up, Merhem? Thank you so much for the 73-month resub. Tier 3 as well. Have a great day of casting. Thank you so much for supporting it. I appreciate it. Have I ever thought about using a VR setup? To do what, exactly, I wonder? To do what with? I have no idea what I would use a VR setup for, you know? Play VR games? Like, is there even any VR games anyone wants to play in this day and age? Is that even a thing? No, I've not really thought about that. Leylines, King's Cove, and Ultra Love are going to be our maps here as Clem looks to battle Christiana in the opening matchup, so we'll get this underway. Christiana's been good lately. Halston said he was excited for this match, and yet he isn't here to watch it today, is he? Typical Halston. What a guy. What a guy. Alright, I'm going to click off into Clem vs Christiana. So we're going to kick off into this first match of the day, TVP. Best of 3 coming through as we set this off and we get this going. Let's kick off into some Starcraft 2, guys. Good to have you all for casting. How would I cast in a VR setup? Like, what does that even look like? How does that even go? Like, what, I just have a VR headset on and then I'm just like, I'm in the game? Can you imagine? That'd be kind of sick, I guess. Alright, let's go into ley lines. As we have got in the bottom left-hand corner of the map. Starting off this best of 3 here today. It is going to be our red Protoss player, Christiana. Taking on the blue Terran. In the top right corner of the map, we have Clem. Is it warm where I am? Not really. It's warmer than it has been. It's been freezing lately, but it's a little bit warmer today. It's a bit more mild today than it is just like cold. So yeah. Yo, Pizza 94, thank you so much for the 6-month resub. Welcome back. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for resubscribing and supporting the channel, supporting the StarCraft 2. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's kick off into game number 1 here on ley lines of this TVP, where I think a lot of people are obviously going to be favoring our Terran player to start us off in the form of Clem, but man, watching him play against Shameless yesterday, I kind of felt a little shaky for him, and maybe, just maybe, there's a little bit of a action coming through. We've seen that probe moving about. It's going to be going back and forth. The Reaper and the Orbital Command both on the way up as we get started. Yeah, yesterday Clem had a little bit of issues in the TVP matchup. I honestly think he's going to be okay here today. I don't think this is going to be a big deal. I honestly think he should make his way through Christiana without too many problems, so I do not think that that's going to be, like I say, too much of an issue in the slightest. We just have this first Reaper on the way out, and we'll see Clem looking to take some control early, get some vision, get some information, and work with that in the early stages. Just going to go straight away from there. As the factory is on the way, the reactor coming online, the Reaper coming through, and we're just going to be seeing that heading down to the bottom left-hand side of the map. Away we go for the next few moments. So Reaper will come across, try and get some information. We'll see what kind of style Krystianer is feeling here today as well. See what he is looking to maybe get up to for the early stages or so. See what his plan is going to involve as we get everything settled. It's going to be having the Reaper popping up. Is going to see the Twilight counts on the wall off there, so Clem knows exactly what is happening. Seeing the Reaper making its way over, just trying to again see a little bit of what's going on in the early stages. Have that starport coming online, the factory building the Cyclone as well, so we continue to get that on the way, bringing that through, getting that up and running. So again, we get a little bit of everything just coming online. Obviously, we'll see where Christiana wants to go aggression rise. Gates coming through, the Robo Facility coming online. Just going to be seeing our Viking and our Siege Tank. Marines as well, all continue to come up. That Reaper still just patrolling the battle a little bit. Again, we'll look to continue finding info. With 4 gateways, you do see Christiana obviously getting very well set up to be aggressive here. So we'll see how that goes. As the Adept is going to go chasing the Reaper down out toward the middle of the map. Marines and the Cyclone splitting apart a little bit. That Cyclone now locking onto the Adept. Adept will already start to take some little bits of damage. Is going to go down. Now going to turn around onto the other Adept, taking damage as well. Adept number 2 goes down, and it's going to be Marines and a Cyclone still pressing forward. Siege Tank dropping down. I mean, against 4 gates of Blink, I feel like this should be dangerous, you know, for Clem to be here, but Blink's not ready yet. We're going to get rid of 1 pylon very early on as well. And that's going to depower the Robo too. I mean, these structures are in trouble, and the problem for Christiana is, I mean, he's going to have to Blink in on top of this straight up. There's not really much else to do, and he's going to be blinking into a Viking, a Cyclone, and the Medevac micro potential, which is just not pretty. The battery's at least going to be here in a moment, as we take a moment before we're actually going to blink back defensively, which I don't know if I love. He does get the Siege Tank, which is something. Clem is going to start chasing down. I mean, these units are on blink cooldown for the most part. We're going to start getting some blinks up again, but we are getting some kills. Clem taking a very good trade early. Considering this is 4-gate blink, this is obviously not going well enough for Christiana, right? Like, to commit to 4 gates and to have this amount of trouble early on, he might not even clean these units up. The Viking and the Cyclone are both still extremely healthy. The probes have to pull to stop protecting this. Clem still has Viking Medevac micro available too. He's going to get another Siege Tank here, and Clem is going to waste 0 time at all to get into position and just end this first game. New Viking, new Siege Tank, and I think that's just going to be game already, as we might want to target fire the Stalkers. They're going to try and go for the Siege Tank here. Cyclone micro, Vikings microing. Tank will go down, but I mean, you still got some pretty powerful units. We warp in 1 more Stalker. I'm not loving that. Christiana says GG, and that is going to be Clem wiping the floor with the opposition to start the day off here on Ley Lines. So I guess just checking. Doors being answered. Let's go for map number 2. Alright, let's get this going. KNO2 coming up. King's Cove going to be our map in a few moments' time. So kick this off, keep the action rolling. Thanks for joining us, and we should be all good to go. That is a name. Mr. Alt Eshabraka 0815. Thank you so much for the 3-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it. Thank you for supporting the stream. Trying to stay above the 800 sub mark. Thank you so much. Appreciate the support. Christiana Clem Game 2 on King's Cove coming up in a few moments. As Go gets called by Christiana, and I think we should be pretty much straight into this. Like I say, Dark vs. Jieshi coming up after this as well, guys. Yesterday's games were not great. Kind of hoping for some better games today. Actually, very interested to see what Christiana Jieshi ends up looking like. I think that could be very cool as we get ready to go into King's Cove. You thought Doc is in the military? Nope, Doc is not in the military yet. He is still yet to go. He is still yet to leave us for military service, so... Yes, we are expecting him to go. He's due to go. We've just still not had him actually have to go, basically. Is where we are at so far. So, gonna go into King's Cove, and we'll see what our players were gonna give us for this one as we get set up and ready to rumble. Broke patrolling, again gateway, barracks continue to come online. Again, first few moments going to be pretty peaceful. Much bigger map, definitely don't expect Clem to be able to take as much control of this one as quickly as he did last game, so that's definitely a factor from the very get-go, I would imagine. Is this live? Yes, this is live with the capital L-I-V and E. Cybercall coming up, next is on the way. And just going to be having that Factory Reaper and the Orbital coming by at the moment. SCV going to finish up that depot. The Reaper's still coming through. And the Gateway is going to rally out down to that bottom right side of the map. So the Gateway just going to rally on down. The Adept is on the way up. The Warp Gate's coming through. The Nexus building. Simulator building as well. As the Reaper heads towards the upper left-hand side, so just going to get some scouting in early. Like I say, don't really imagine Clem's going to go for a push the same way as last time on a map like King's Cove, because it was close last time. He did need the reinforcements to close it out. And obviously if the first position doesn't get there as quickly, it's obviously not going to be as great for you either, as the Reaper starts to nabble at the probe. So the probe will start to take some damage. A few of the other probes going to pull in. Reaper gets chased. A couple of probes going down so far. Adept continues across the map. The other Adept going to be there. Stalker still in production. Keep getting that Warp Gate online. Twilight Council about halfway done, and the Adept gonna connect. Reaper, taking some shots. 3 probes going down so far. Okay, not a bad start at all. 3 workers is pretty substantial. Now we are gonna get the CC delayed, as Clem goes into 2 more Reapers and the Hellion to try and put some more damage out on the map, so we'll be heading straight into this as the additional Reapers pop. And the Reapers and the Hellion will try and chase that Adept. Now, does this Adept want to recall? Yes, because there's not really an easy way for it to get home, apart from recalling. And even as we recall, we do see the Adept loses some HP. 2 Adepts and a Stalker at home should be good to kind of knock down an initial... Yeah, it should be enough to realistically kind of knock a Hellion down and so negate a lot of this initial Reaper Hellion power. I don't think this should go too far. I'd almost like to see maybe the Reapers hop to the main base and the Hellions just kind of run the natural. Maybe that would be a better way to do this. Or you actually just try and trade for the low HP Adept at the front, which is going to go down. 1 Reaper low HP. We pull it back, but a little bit too late. Because now we try and trade for Adept number 2. We're going to get it. And now 2 Reapers and a Hellion can go to the natural. 1 Stalker of DPS is not going to clean up units very quickly at all. And Christiana is going to be losing a lot of workers here. That's going to be... Remember, he lost 3 already this game, so this is now going to be 8, 9 workers lost in the game. And we're just going to jump in the main base for a full scout as well as Clem finds success on his opening. And away we go. Reaper going to go after a couple more of those probes. Reaper is going to go down. And Nexus goes down on the 3rd. Then coming about, Nexus, Robo Facility continuing through, the obs coming up as the medevac goes across the map. So away across the map we go. Nexus just chilling for a couple of moments. I mean, we got ourselves the harassment just going to continue. A Raven on the way up for another stage of this as well. We have our Marines in the Cyclone. Just going to go poke away. Finally going to take some more damage. Stalker's trying to hit the medevac. Medevac going to live. He wants us to come back in. I mean, these units probably go down, but we're already going to kill 1 Stalker. 2nd Stalker in trouble. Saves the Cyclone from a shot there. For a couple more moments, we get ourselves a little bit more damage done. The Cyclone very narrowly gets another Stalker. 3 more probes, though, a Stalker. Other Stalkers low. The pressure from Clem just keeps on ramping up, and this is not a pretty start at all here from Christiana. He is in trouble, trouble, trouble. This is going, unfortunately, I think from bad to worse pretty much right now. I mean, lost the first game quickly. Second game, not going well. Clem has got an engineering base coming online. The stim pack is coming through. The Raven is already in the top right corner of the map. That is the Raven, right? No, that's the medevac. Raven's down in the bottom left corner of the map, and it's going to be making its way across the map as well. So Raven coming across the map is going to try and put some order harassment down too. In a game where you've already lost, at this point, what, 13 probes? Like, Clem has given up units to do this. Oh, the Observer sees the Raven coming, so at least you will have a little bit of preemptive info. Get a Stalker in position also. There's already a couple. Clem can still drop an order turret down, though. You can, right-click on some probes. He will still get some kills. Gets 1, another 1 low. As Mad Alien hits us with a 58-month resub. Welcome back. Appreciate it as the Stalkers jump in. And the Depot will take some damage. Stalkers, Bio. He's going to trade a little bit. We're actually going to... I mean, look at the confidence here from Clem. He's going to drop the Marauders forward to go and fight Stalkers because, he's just extremely confident in the position he's in this game. And boy, is he right to be, clearly. There's nothing stopping this man right now. He's in an absolutely killer position, and he is just going to keep putting himself into a better and better place. Raven drops an auto turret down in the back of the natural. And a few more of these probes, a couple Stalkers moving about. I mean, we're getting to a stage where Clem cannot possibly be... I mean, basically as bio upgrades kick in, I imagine we try and fight. And I honestly expect this first fight to already go well for him. He's going to have himself an Observer here. He can stim if he needs to, but he doesn't need to. He has the distance on it anyways. The Observer goes down. I mean, you already know the units are approaching. You just can't keep as good a track of them as you might have hoped. Maybe, just maybe, that Colossus can give you a little bit of hope in life here as Christiana. If that Colossus can keep you in this game, it's possible, right? It is possible. There is a way. So, let's see. As our Bio 4 starts to fight, coming towards the upper left-hand side, we'll see the couple units moving back. Widowmines are going to burrow up. The Siege Tank is going to relocate ever so slightly to that top side as well. Bio still joining together. And we are going to stim as our Zealots get turned the other way. The Colossus is going to take a few more shots. Bang, bang. Probes going down. The Zealots are going to split apart, and they're going to just try and fight this straight away. Again, we do have stim. Let the Widowmines do their thing. They're going to do a lot of splash damage to begin with. We're actually going to try and target fire down the Colossus. The Siege Tank doing a good job, but Christiana doing a better job of keeping his Colossus in a safe place. I don't think Clem needs to keep on fighting here. I mean, I guess he wants to protect this Siege Tank, but I was going to say maybe he could have just lifted up and gone elsewhere already. Yeah, maybe just a jump into the main base. He loses the empty medevac. He can just drop to this high ground already. In fact, I think he's going to go to the main, make the Colossus run as far as possible. That's a pylon power and a lot of stuff. He forces the recall. It's a good recall, actually. It's a good split of units. There's going to be a couple Stalkers on this low ground still, as Clem will boost, though. Trying to decide if he can get out or not. He's going to unload onto these Stalkers. He'll lose a few Marines, but he will kill the 2 Stalkers. And Clem is going to make the getaway. He's killed 6 probes. The auto turret got busy during it. Reinforcements are showing up. As we blink forward, we don't actually know that the reinforcements are there as Christiana, so it's a bit of a dangerous blink without him really knowing that it was a dangerous blink. Standard thermal lance about to finish. +2 attack is coming online. Missile turret drops down. Ghost Academy building about halfway done. And our 4th Nexus from Christiana drops in the front. This Raven comes back in. It's more auto turrets. It's more pain and destruction. Don't get me wrong, Christiana's army is not bad. I actually think Christiana's army supply is actually pretty respectable. It's the longevity in this game I worry about. And if he feels like right now pushing is the one real chance he has, I'm not sure a push up around into the Terran player is going to do much for him. I think Clem doesn't, he doesn't have a lot of Vikings, but he doesn't need a lot if you're attacking into him. As Christiana gets a few more Stalkers warped in. Definitely being protected a little bit by the map and the size of the map here. Definitely allows this to kind of go on a little bit where it might not have usually. As Clem cleans up the Zealot attempt on the right-hand side, so that's not going to go anywhere at all. So that gets shot down. We just have now a couple of Ghosts, our Viking, our Missile turrets, all coming online here from Clem. As he gets to more tech, it just becomes more and more dangerous for Christian to still be in this game. He's going to have a tougher and tougher and tougher time trying to deal with this. So let's gather through. The couple of Vikings still on the way. The Ghost as well in production. +1 armor. Going to be a part of this too now. As our +2 attack upgrade comes in from Christiana. So I mean, Christiana's going to have +2 attack. He is moving into Disruptors. I mean, he's getting good tech online for himself. Clem is still coming back with that Raven, by the way. Just again and again on repeat. He'll get another probe or 2 in the main, or at least it looked as though he's going to. He avoids it because of the battery. Three probes going down. It's going to see the Zealots coming through. Auto turret's going to take some damage. The Ghost stepping up. Now he goes down. Does live though, as Clem is maxed and already kind of hit in the front. He's got a counterattack of Zealots, Christiana, on that right-hand side, so expect those to hit soon. He's actually pulling them back towards the army. It's actually going to start turning out to be in a maxed out army. Clem sees those Zealots, he stims for them, but I think they're too far away. As Christiana steps forward with the Stalkers himself, we go back and forth here. The Ghost maybe in a little bit of trouble. There are the Zealots on the other side. The Widowmines that were there earlier still there, and now he's going to basically close in on those Zealots. Christiana's going to find one Ghost, and Clem let his Ghost trail off for a moment. Christiana does not capitalize. Like I say, it's still good for Clem. He dropped down like 20 supply of Zealots and didn't lose anything for it, so that's, yeah, Zealots are kind of expendable, but in a game where Christiana has struggled with economy, Zealots are not going to be as expendable as you might want them to be in that situation, right? So definitely not exactly ideal as our Stalkers. Still trying to step through. Another EMP going down. We are going to be seeing this army kind of staring each other down at the moment. Disruptor shot lands for a couple of Marines. Vikings are going to begin to fire. There is the Disruptor shot, going to be a little bit shy. Disruptor goes down. The Colossus not lasting long at all. We dodge another Disruptor. There's going to be a couple Disruptor shots left. We start to land the Vikings as Clem. He is pretty heavily stimmed. A lot of these units on lower HP. Might be nice to actually let the Medivacs do some healing on this army. Every stim right now is going to cost him a lot as he dives in, seeing a chance to get a Disruptor kill. He will get that. He'll get the next one that was available to fire as well. That was a fresh one. Just came down the ramp, which is why Clem was so sure that it was going to fire, and he was so ready to target fire it. He left his Vikings on the ground. They are mostly going to go down, but Christiana is melting. Yes, Clem is losing some SCVs as well. Clem, even without the stim, steps away from that Disruptor shot without issue. I mean, we still have low HP units here. Like, it's possible Clem loses a lot. The Ghosts in the front would have been nice if they could have picked up somehow. The Stalkers blink through. You can't chase because of the Disruptor. And Clem, again, just needs kind of reinforcements with, like, a healthier set of units. His core bio has just been such low HP for so long at this stage. It's been a consistent struggle as Christiana trying to make it up to base number 5, getting some extra probes coming over. Fire gathering, we will see the Disruptor. We dodged a little bit, Zealot going down, another Disruptor shot firing through, Marauders taking damage again. Another Disruptor shot. Another Disruptor shot, my goodness. There's a lot of Zealots going down, by the way, as the Stalkers get forced backwards. Cannon in the battery coming through. Another Zealot going to get taken out here. Disruptor going to be dodged. The problem is, if you're constantly playing for the Disruptors, you're inviting Clem to basically out-micro you. And that was a good Disruptor shot. And we actually have made it into Colossus again. That's going to make Clem make Vikings, at least. And it's some constant DPS that you can have throughout these fights now that has not been there previously. So, something to maybe give Christiana a little bit of hope. As Clem stands in and fights. He's got a lot of units at home, by the way. This is just a portion of his army. Medivacs go boosting over to that right-hand side. A couple of Zealots coming through and swiping away. Prism on the way up. Disruptor and the +1 armor coming by. Fusion Core is building as well. Back to the top side as that Disruptor is going to go down. Ghost gets killed. Prism still flying through. As the Medivac's going to drop in the back. It's going to pull Christiana away. Something Clem hasn't really been doing now, right? He's just been focused on fights in one location, but now he's going to try and take advantage. Controls well here, avoids this Disruptor shot. He's already doing a lot of damage. This next is in genuine trouble. Christiana blows up his own shield batteries. Kills the Widow Mines after they fire. The base on the top side still in trouble. Nexus goes down. GG's Christiana. And Clem takes a 2-0 to start off this day in all of the right ways. Alright, so that's going to be our first series of the day going the way of Clem. He grabs the victory. And we'll be moving on to the Korean server as we get ready for Dark Jieshi ZVP coming up in a few moments' time. See if Dark can rank out a run against Jieshi and set us up with a Dark Clem matchup. We'll take it. I feel like I just misclicked the server. Feels bad to be Clem's opponent. Well, Clem is pretty good. Trying to log into career gears takes a couple of attempts, but we are going to make it perfect. So we should be able to start heading into Dark Jieshi here in a few moments. Get this ready to go. Pick this off. Alright guys, so just tapping away. Sorting a couple things out. Awesome's away guys, he just doesn't stream it today, he's sorting some stuff out as far as I'm aware. We're gonna get going soon as you believe Dark. I see Jieshi, I see Dark's online as well, so should just be a few moments. Looks like they're already in a party, so it is getting sorted. Do 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 do. So yeah, shouldn't be long, guys. Videos are coming through. Jieshi versus Dogs EVP coming up as our second series of the day in just a few moments. Let's see how it goes. Sorry, guys. I got water on my face. I feel like I was like, why isn't the face around? Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Alrighty, guys. When is the next game? As soon as it's ready, buddy. I mean, they're literally just in the process of videoing, posting. Should not be very long. And we don't go to break screen or anything because we're just expecting it to be ready very soon, so... Alright, shouldn't be too long, guys. I'm just waiting for everyone to come through. Like I say, hopefully just a couple moments, get these videos underway, and we can kick this off. Cool, cool, cool. What was first? We just watched Clem versus Christiana. Dark versus Jieshi coming next, and the winners match, and then the losers match, and then the decider match. It's kind of interesting how Dark versus Jieshi goes. Kind of kind of feel like Dark should just dominate, but I feel like Jieshi might be able to draw it out into a bit of a longer game as well. So yeah, we shall see. Lobby's coming up. It's going to be El Dorado to start. Ooh, hoo, hoo. Hey, what's up, Sir Riggelson? Thank you so much for the 33-month resub. Welcome back. Thank you for resubscribing. Thank you for supporting. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As we get ready to go, go, go. We're in the lobby. Everyone's in here. We've got so many casters in here. My goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 orbs. I think it's actually almost a full lobby. Busy in here today. Alright, we're going to load up El Dorado coming through. I'm going to get this straight into action, straight into the game. And kick off into our first game of our second series, everybody. Again, welcome to today's coverage of the Liuli Cup, followed by what will be some OSC Championship action straight after as well. In the bottom left, we're going to start off with our Red Protoss player, who will be an underdog coming into this matchup. From Weibo Gaming, we have Jieshi, one of the Chinese competitors who's constantly pushing the top of that Chinese scene. Always fun to watch him. I actually always really enjoy watching Jieshi play, because I always feel like he's competitive. I always feel like he can put up a stand. Let's see how he does here. As we have, in the bottom right, our blue Zerg player, Dark. Jieshi is old Cyan? No. Cyan is now known as Lancer. Jieshi is another Chinese Protoss player. He's good. He honestly is. He's pretty darn good. Believe in Jieshi a little bit. I think he can honestly put up a good fight against Dark, but as with anyone playing against Dark, Dark is Dark is quite often the guy who is just going to be a little bit too good a lot of the time, you know? You can be as prepared as you want to be, and Dark will just throw some curveballs your way anyways. And Dark can play any type of a game. That's also the terrifying part about playing Dark, right? Is that he can play you in a very cheesy game, he can play you in a straight-up macro game. Or he can play you in a kind of a dark macro game where he has low drone count, yet he is able to drag the game out to an extremely extended point anyway. All of these are options from our Zerg player on a regular basis. As we just have our probe moving across the map, heading down to that bottom right side, Nexus and Cybercore coming up, Assimilator coming through as well. So we get all of that on the go. So the hatchery comes into play, get that started, and we get this building up right here. Getting a couple queens, the link speed, all continuing through. The Nexus coming down on the side of Jieshi as we get that ready to rumble. Overlord heading down the bottom side. A couple of Zerglings are going to make their way forward. They're just going to be coming in, coming back, again ready to defend against the first couple of units. The probe coming over, for example, as well. A couple of Lings are going to turn around. The probe gets punched backwards. And again, the Stargate coming through. The link speed not far from finishing over the next couple of moments. Overlords cruising about. It's going to be a Void Ray from Jieshi straight into that Twilight Council. So he's very quickly going to set up to potentially play Glaives or so here. And try and deny the scout information with the Void Ray. And then go from there as the Void Ray just going to pop through. Just going to see the Twilight Council coming up, the gates coming along, probes and the Warp Gate coming over. As the Void Ray is going to nab the Overlord over the next few moments. And that Void just overhead. The Warp Gate Morphin, just going to be seeing the Glaives continue to come about. And you got ourselves a couple spores coming through as well, so let's see what we can do. Nice, got all the pylon coming up. Again, the Nexus coming through. The extra gates coming online. Lair and Extractors coming online as well. Additional drones building. Got that Queen coming out as well as the Resonating Glaives. It's just about halfway done here for the moment. Well, Get ourselves the Roach Worm producing from Dark. It's going to be very important against the Resonating Glaive Adepts. Obviously, a Roach Worm will go a long way to defending against this and to making your life a whole lot easier. So, should help a lot as the Queen is going to start hitting the Void Ray. Extra Queen showing up, Void will get punched back. Like I say, we're building into that Glaive, but also the third base. So, as the Ling tries to get more information, and see how careful Dark's being. He'll take one Adept shot, but no more, because he wants to be there to see if anything does come moving across the map. He wants the warning. He's not going to get it, though, because the Ling goes down to the single Adept. Jieshi hit this pretty darn well, if I have to say so. He does have the Watchtower, though, and with the Watchtower, he will start to see these units coming across the other side. So now Dog is fully aware. Roach is in production. He's on 55 drones. He's got a lot of Queens as well. Obviously, the Adepts will try and shade past those. Already going to be seeing the initial... Oh, that's beautiful, because the Wall-Off is there, so now you're forced to keep fighting the Queens. We're going to shade in. The Queens will have transfusions for each other. I mean, getting rid of the Void Ray is nice so early on as well, because it's just less DPS on these Queens throughout. The Roach is starting to spawn. The Adepts putting the shade to the third base. The drones will just pull from there. If the Adepts commit to that third, as long as they're not in the natural and the main base, then it doesn't seem to really matter too much. That Dark should be able to keep pushing this back, and this is a beautiful defense from Dark. Roach speed on the way. Wall is up once more. These Adepts will still not make it through, and you're just shading into damage now. You're shading into Roaches, you're shading into Queens. Evo Chamber goes up one more time as the Adepts threaten. They really want to try and get in, but it ain't going to happen. And even going to the third, I don't think that's not a shade you should finish, right? Maybe it is. Maybe the reason you finish this shade is because you do not want the Zerg coming across the map to you, and this at least buys you time. Like, going home and having +4 Adepts is probably worth less than just buying yourself time for the Robo and an Immortal to pop. Because Dark is coming and he ain't looking back. In fact, he is looking back a little bit because he's building a Spire over his shoulder. And he's like, oh, cool, I've got that on the way as a way to follow up with, should I need it. So he looks towards that as a positive. As the Ling Roach arrives across the map, Dark starts to move forward. See a Stalker's Adept in position. A few Lings already going down. The Roaches will start to step up this ramp, and I mean, these units are not good because there's no Stalker blink or anything, so these Stalkers are terrible. Stalkers are meant to find so much efficiency in these situations, and they just will not right here. The Guardian Shield obviously going to help. Pro Pull is going to give you a hand, but I just don't see this actually being enough as Jieshi is taking a ton of damage already. Stalker's still dropping, the Lings running across. That's a lot of Lings that keep on running across right now as the Roaches go after Stalker after Stalker. The Stalkers just keep on dropping down. I mean, the probes pull in. The Immortal being here is obviously nice, but we've killed 15 probes. We might even still kill the Immortal as well. This Roach count is not to be laughed at. There's no battery energy either, so there's no healing on this Immortal. Yep, there's just not enough. We're still losing probes. We're still losing the Sentry. And the fact you're going to lose every probe here is probably just too much, as Jieshi probably has to look towards a GG in the opening game of this series. We have a few Stalkers, but now there's Mutas on the way. We don't even have Blink yet. Every Stalker that goes down is going to make defending the Mutas a tougher option. I mean, Dark probably didn't even need the Mutas. He probably could have just flooded Ling Roach, but he didn't know that at the point he started to really set up for the Mutas, and now the Spire's there. He may as well just make Mutas, because the anti-air is obviously extremely limited. You're going to have Lings to try and help tank the Stalkers as well. This is going to be extremely difficult to hold. I mean, you can start warping in some Stalkers, sure. I mean, Jieshi doesn't even have that much money because he's lost all the economy on the third base. As the Mutas fly into the main, I think it's a very apt GG timing as Dark takes game 1 of the series. But Dark wastes no time, and he gets the job done without blinking an eye. I feel like he's just cool, calm, collected. It was a beautiful defense, to be fair. Like, that really was one of the better defense. So, yeah. Alright, just waiting for this game number 2 got joined in. And down. Game number 2. Coming straight up. Let's get this going. Stark is in a good place. Let's get into it. We have got ourselves in the top left corner of the map. Our red Protoss player is Jieshi. Taking on the blue Zerg in the bottom right. Dark. Simulator building, probe on the way, a couple of drones coming about as well, so we get all of that settling in as the assimilator comes through. Probe on the way up, hatchery building, and get this drone on the way as well. So just get a little bit of some, little bits and pieces on the way through. Offload heading to the upper left-hand side as we just journey across. Dark is up 1-0, sorry. To add the scoreboard to be up to date. Apologies. Do, 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 do. Oh, we're going to get there. Yeah, we do have our cyber core. We're going to be setting up. Next is coming in. Bell Queen's on the way through. Lings, Overlords all building. As we get set up, again, next in the cyber core coming online. The Overlord of Dark going to come across the map for a few moments, see what's up. Just take a few moments early in this game. I kind of like the plan from Jieshi in the last game, but Dark was just so on top of it. Again, his defense was so freaking good. Things keep coming through. Stargate gonna build. Overlord moving across. Again, a couple Lings even gonna get in. They're gonna try and attempt to get a probe. I mean, even just causing a little bit of disruption to early game mining. Like, this is crazy. 2 Lings, and you've got 6 probes not mining for 5 to 10 seconds. Definitely throwing Jieshi's build off a little bit in the early stages as the Lings will continue into the main. So after the probes here, Dep's still going to try and get there. Both Lings going down. Quadra coming up. Twilight Council is going to build as well. The Wolfgate's still producing. And Jieshi just going to do more of the same so far, unless he does a similar opening and then makes it different after, right? So you try and send your opponent onto like an expectation, only to kind of be like, haha, see, this is the difference. This is where it is all going to turn and not quite be the same, in fact. Just a couple of Adepts. Little shader crossing through into this natural where they're going to be met by a collection of drones. And the Ling's going to be there too. Honestly, like a little bit of lost mine time on the drones, but we are going to kill both the Adepts early, and if you're going to end up going into Glaives, losing those Adepts already isn't exactly ideal, and it's not going to be Glaives. We're actually going to see something different in the form of Charge starting up. So we're going to still go into Charge now. Like I say, different way of approaching this right now. A little bit of a different setup here at the moment. We have our next coming through, the couple of gates still coming up as well. Like I say, the third Nexus, but that feels like a bit of a fake when we're just heading into charge, and we are still mining gas, so we could drop a Templar Archives and go into some Archons with these charge lots. I'm also surprised that that is not what is happening here. The fact that we're not seeing any charge lots or anything is very surprising to me. I felt like that was almost a given. No Archons kind of just makes this feel weaker than it would be otherwise. Feeling still cruising about. Going to the upper left, a couple of pros will still have to go down as well. Get rid of those. The next is now taking damage. Our charge about to finish. We see all of the Zealots. There's no way you see all of these Zealots and you don't know what's up. As like I say, Jieshi has so much gas in the back burner as well. Genuinely a little bit shocked as to how this is going to turn out, because it's going to be... It's interesting because obviously we're just going to have Dark so aware of it. He's going to have Spines building, but they're not ready yet. The Queen's here, going to put some damage out. The Void Ray able to add damage as well. It's actually going to be able to turn onto the Roaches, which are coming over. The Zealots still just focusing the Queens right now. I'm not sure if that's the right choice. They're going to turn onto these Roaches. The Queens get rid of the Void Ray. I don't feel like this was it. Hold position on the drones is making it extremely difficult for these Zealots to do anything. Let's go ahead and say this is just another very good defense with Dark, as Jieshi gas in the bank to spend. I mean, he's going to start going into Blink, a Robo Facility, Roaches and a Spine Crawl on the Natural as well will play defense. Roaches will chase, the Zealots will go down. Killed a couple of drones here. That's about it. We killed 2 drones in the entire game. I mean, that ain't going to do it for you, right? That ain't going to cut it. That's not enough damage. So yeah, that's probably going to be... yeah, I honestly kind of feels like that's just going to be... I want to say GG. I guess it's not really. Dark did invest a fair amount into this defense. This doesn't feel like a scenario where you should be able to kind of bounce back from here at all as the Protoss player, honestly. So I'm intrigued to see how we continue. Just see those Roaches, those Lings still gathering up. Forge, Gateway, Blink all coming through. The Hydra Den building as well, as Dark drops down a 4th base location. So he gets that up and ready to roll. I mean, Dark's just going to really move into the next stage of his game. It definitely should be at something of an advantage here. Jieshi, I feel like it's transitioning well. Like, if he's given himself a chance after a bit of a rough start. Transitioning quickly into the feature tech and so on definitely does a lot for you. So it's an absolute benefit as the Roaches step up again. Zod Stalker Sentry, Immortal, and actually just start pushing already. I mean, the Hydra's about to be out. We still have Spines. There's no way you can push up into the Spines. This is the problem, right? You can't push into the Spine Crawlers because you force these early, so they're there when they're not usually meant to be there. We're building the Prism. I think Jieshi is just going to send it. He's on 7 gates. It is 3 bases. Hydras here are so good as well because they're just such good damage output. Being able to just, shove damage into the face of your opponent is huge. I think Retro Ravager Hydra comes up. A couple of Corrosive Vials dropping down. Force Field's going to get hit. Temple Archives, the Immortal, Sentries continuing to come about. There is the 4th base from Jieshi building on the 12 o'clock. He's just going to step forward here as the army coming over. A couple of force fields coming down. Corrosive Vials going to drop onto those force fields. The force field's going to take some big hits. We are going to continue forward. I mean, we're already crushing through the important units here. Sentries and Immortals going down. If this just turns into pure Stalkers, it's never going to be good. And that's kind of the reality we're starting to face here, is the Prism's going to die as well. He's not even on siege yet. We'll go down to Hydra Fire, and are we just going to type GG, Jieshi, or are we going to give it a go to try and stay in this? He's taking a 4th base. I don't think Dark's going to let him stay in this. Dark is just running across the map. He's killing a bunch of units as he goes. He has absolutely zero reason to be stopping at the moment. This Immortal gets caught as well. That will go down, and I genuinely think we have ourselves a very convincing position for Dark. He doesn't attack into the 3rd base, but he's done a lot. He's going to get a Lurker Den on the way down, so he's definitely putting himself in a very good position. We'll just see our Rock's going to be in some trouble. So in we go. Knocking that out for the moment. And Storm building, and then Immortal still on the way around our Ling Hydra force to the top as we're going to get over. Next is going to get fully surrounded here. Hydra's going to come across Ravagers as well. There goes the Nexus. Just going to see a few more Stalkers. Now slow warping in, so we cancel the fourth. Like I say, Dark's in no rush because he's going to get to Lurkers, and that's only going to be an improvement for him. Now come down this bottom side. Another couple corrosive files coming out. Hi, Templars. Getting warped in. It's going to join up on the front of this base, and do have, like I say, I mean, we're really just waiting for the Lurkers. I do not think Dark needs to. I mean, maybe now Storm's done, waiting for Lurkers will be even smarter, but I think Dark's realizing as well. He's like, I can actually start putting some damage on this base as well, and he is going to knock down a couple of pylons here. Stalkers and Immortals taking a lot of shots. Corrosive Vials going to work on a battery. We're very close to having Storms. We are not far, a couple of energy points away. You're going to need some miraculous Storm Seers. Those are very good. I mean, it's definitely one of the better starts you'll have, but there's so much more that needs to be done. We're expecting the next Storm to come through as we're just leading these units into Corrosive Vials now. I mean, Jieshi is sub 100 supply. Reinforcements just streaming across the map here. Yeah. Like I say, this one really going to just come to a close. I mean, Dark holding the initial attack really set the stage for this game. And was pretty much always going to be in a good position from there. And that's definitely been the case as Dark gets 2-0 over Jieshi. And is going to take the 2-0 victory into the winner match, which will be against Clem. So Dark and Clem going to fight for a place in the playoffs, while Jieshi and Christiana will fight to stay alive in the group. That's our next two best of threes set and scheduled. So we're going to be heading over to the NA server, and we'll have both of those then coming up back to back. So that's where we go now to keep the games going today. Perfect. Yeah, I'm gonna try and connect to NA. It's not been my friend the last few days. I guess a few moments. I'm getting to map number series number 3 here. It's going to be Dark versus Clem, a banger of a series. Then Christiana Jieshi, and the winner, the loser of Dark Clem, the winner of Christiana Jieshi plays the final series, and then we move into OSC Championship action. Alrighty guys, we are having videos done. Shouldn't take too long. Dark and Clem usually pretty swift to get the videos underway. Get into that, and like I said, just keep the games rolling here. Once again. Do, 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 do. Alright, videos, like I say, should be underway, guys. They've been in a party a couple of minutes here. Should be able to get this TVZ on the way in the next few moments. I wish we saw more DT play. Yes, I love it when a single DT ends the game. Truly enthralling gameplay that we thrive for. Do. WardiTV sponsored by Evian. Yeah. If only. It's sponsored by some water. You reckon water makes enough money to sponsor the entirety of Starcraft 2? Probably does, right? Alright guys, all we need to do is to make our very own branded water. So if everyone just starts filling up water into bottles from their taps, just need to start selling it as... We'll just call it like Star Water. And we'll just pretend it comes from stars. We won't say it comes from stars, but we'll just insinuate that it does, you know? And then we'll just sell it for Starcraft. Game saved. Holy. It's as easy as that, guys. Don't know why we didn't think of this earlier. Alright. Amygdala. Coming up for map number 1 of this best of 3. It is going to be Dark. It is going to be Clem. It's the winners match of this Group D of the Liuli Cup. One of these players is about to lock themselves into a one of these players is about to lock themselves into a playoff spot. that we'll have to play on a little bit. As we have in the bottom left, our blue Terran player is Clem. And in the top right corner of the map, our red Zerg is dark. Opening game, Amygdala. Let's see what we get. As the Overlord starts to move around, we get settled up here for a few moments. See what our plan will be. As especially from Dark, I think he's going to know that he's got to do something pretty cool to kind of take down Clem. I definitely still think he's kind of got to play that more aggressive game if he wants a good shot here, so see what happens. Have you seen the hatch at the pool? No gas just yet, so Doc going to go for a later gas at the moment. To start this off, just going to be seeing the drone continuing over. Again, the hatchery coming up. Drone is moving. And we get ourselves the Orbital and the Reaper on the way out on the side of Clem's. Just going to bring both those up and online. And yeah, I mean, the fast third hatchery from Dark because he's playing no gas, so he has the minerals to put that hatchery down nice and quickly. So he'll try and take, all the advantages he can here. CV coming across. Just going to be seeing the Reaper in the factory still coming up. The CC building on the natural. And again, the hatch building as well. On the side of Dark. So just bring that up. The Lings and the Queen all continue to come into play. And SCV just going to go patrolling around this hatchery as well for a few moments. Just going to go cruising about, moving around. And a little bit of information gathering to start us off. As our Reaper goes all the way to the upper right-hand side. Things will be taking a few shots here already. So the back and forth does begin as the Reaper starts to try and deal some early damage. Clem, with the CC finishing soon, gets a starport underway as well. Because this is a low gas opening from Dark, he's still gasless. This is very likely going to be from Clem as the Hellions come out and attempts to run them into the natural. He's always a fan of if the Zerg is on a later gas timing and a later link speed, he always feels like he can get worthwhile damage by running those Hellions by. So definitely expecting that to be a goal of Clem throughout these early stages. As the Reaper will take a few more shots. Damage being done just for now. Again, two more Hellions just building, so as they get across the map, we'll just see if Clem is going to try for that aggression here or what the plan becomes. Queen's going to be there, Reaper Hellions moving about, and again the Overlord's coming in as well as our Zerglings. Just going to go and move about here. The Hellions will continue to fight a couple of drones beginning to go down. So we get two workers, but the thing is this last Hellion can still get a couple more shots off, and that's a couple more drones that are hurting. Even going to run into the main base, or at least attempt to. It's two drones, it's a few Lings. Next two Hellions run into the Queens for a moment, but actually going to go for the dive by, and the other Queens honestly moved quite far forward already. Kind of surprised by how far forward they came, and this is going to be where you get a bunch of extra damage done. As again, we just go after a bunch of these drones. We try and get up into the main. I think he'd really like to see just if there's any gas mining here already. He's actually going to see there's still no gas available for Dark, so also takes a long time for units to catch up. The drones have to get rid of this Hellion in the end. So 5 drones go down. There's no gas still, and just now is the first extractor of the game coming up here. Nine drones dead. Just going to be having the Hellion going down as well. The Queens are going to get that kill. Now the Banshee shows up. Is this just a case of just two? I mean, you don't even have spores ready. Oh no. This is just a case of too much damage, right? I mean, you're just going to continue to take drone damage here. This Banshee was a little bit lazy chasing the drones. Actually could have been towards the drones a lot faster towards this third base. I feel like Clem took kind of the slowest route possible while still sort of flying here, but He is going to get a few more drones before this is done, before the spores finish up. And even then, he's going to find gaps between the bases to sit the Cloaked Banshees in. And guess what? Now Hellions are going to run into the natural as well. Or the main base, they're just going to go kill this Queen, and there's no speed, so you can't chase those Hellions down easily. And we're going to have Hellions just running rampant. Now the Banshee goes back towards the third, where you can do some damage as well. The Queens are busy over here. And we're going to see two Banshees together trying to actually fight against Queens. Now drones between bases are going down. My goodness, it's honestly a massacre. As that Banshee nearly runs into a spore, but 20 dead drones. The terrifying part of this is usually Clem is extremely good at macroing doing all of this damage. So you know he's got a strong follow-up. And while Dark has just been building drones constantly, that phase of having to constantly build drones instead of being able to begin building units and just stabilizing at a work count, I mean, not having that is going to be very, very difficult. Queens get there, Overlord goes down. Banshees will continue to fight. Again, Hatch is still taking some damage. Still got a 1-1 upgrade. Combat shield coming through. We're going to see the strength of everything that Clem has done here when he starts pushing with the Bioforce. It's going to be when Dark may struggle to really handle this at all. Obviously, it begins to morph in. He's going to fight. A couple Queens taking damage. I mean, the tank already in position says we're going to Roaches as the answer here. They're not going to have speed for a long time. They're not going to have 1-1. Going to be seeing the Roaches still taking some shots, and a lot of the Roaches taking a lot of hits. I mean, Banshee's trying to stay clear of the Queens. They actually get rid of the Overseer, so the Banshee's going to be cloaked and safe. Man, I mean, the Ravagers are going to show up very late to the party. They will be able to dial down the Siege Tank. Great. I mean, so much damage done, though, right? There's units left over here. Still poking around. We do get rid of one of the Banshees, but at the cost of another Queen. Now we're so Queen shorted. Now there's going to be Queen shortages, and so, you know, injects are going to be hard to come by. I mean, don't get me wrong. The supply is still there for Dark, but it's also Roach supply. He's going to try and get the Hive and the Hydra Den. Man, this Banshee just finding anything it can. It's in between the bases, another drone goes down, hitting some Roaches and Ravagers. Clem is rallying another army already, by the way. We are about to have 1-1 for the missile upgrades. Tank siege up quite far away. I like that. Oh my god, the Roaches get melted by those tank shots. The Ravager Vials finally start coming through, and Doc just says GG. There ain't much to hang on to in this one, as Clem starts doing damage early. Honestly, I do not know if you can get away with these like late gas openers against Clem, because he just punishes you. He will not let you set up. He will not let you get comfortable. He will not let you play your game, right? Clem will just not make it easy for you in the slightest, and so you've got to be so careful when you play these sort of styles, and this is exactly how it can just all go so wrong so quickly. Really not ideal. We're going to head into game number 2 here. Dark versus Clem on El Dorado. Map 2 as Clem takes a 1-0 lead. We go straight into it as well. These guys not going to slow down. Let's see what happens for game number 2. El Dorado has the potential to give us a longer game as well, but let's see what happens. In the bottom left-hand side, up 1. It is going to be our blue Terran player. This is Team Liquid's Clem. Taking on Zerg that likes to take all the gold bases on this map. We have, in the bottom right, Dark. So game number 2, Clem with the 1-0 lead. I'd be shocked if Dark played as gasless. I mean, maybe you can play gasless on this map because it's a little bit easier to defend. Ramp up into this space. Bottom side of the map is where you expand to. Then maybe it's a little bit easier to hang on to and everything. So maybe there'll be something worth noting there. Couple drones coming down. Gold mineral's going to get eaten through for a couple of moments. Hey, thank you so much for reaching level 500? Oh my god. Level 500 on the Royal Match. That is someone who is enjoying matching the things up. Thank you so much for supporting the stream. That's crazy. That's a big level. That is actually huge. We're gonna come over, a couple of lings coming through. Just going to be seeing the lings continuing across there, and the Ripper continues to deal some damage. The factory, the CC, continue to come in for the next few moments. Just having our, yeah, I mean, drones on the way out, hatch coming through. Dog is gasless again, so we'll see how he does this time around, see if he can make the necessary adjustments here. So Ripper hops down to the low ground. I'm just going to see our CC moving through. A couple of Queensman drones continue to come about for a few moments then. And away we go. How's that orbital? Our CC and our barracks will continue to come into play. Queen's going to be there. Reaper going to take a few more shots. Stim coming through. Aliens, the Marine on the way up. Just going to see the Marine get underneath the Overlord. I'm just firing. Again, the Reaper again pushed around. Drone moving over. Stimpack coming through. And do have our Rax, Refinery, CC. Again, just a bit of everything coming online for a few moments. Well, Hellions going to be part of this. As the hatchery drops, I'm already taking that gold base. Like I say, Dark likes taking this gold, and he likes taking the gold after that as well. On the bottom side, a lot of the time, he'll try and pressure in for it, so we'll just be trying for that. Again, Stim coming through, Starport coming online. SCVs move about, the Marines and the Stim continue to come in as well. Aliens move back over, just going to drop a little creep tumor down, just going to bring that straight into play. Two more medevacs building on the side of Clem at the moment, just kind of bring that about. Just going to be seeing the engineering base coming over. Again, Tech Lab, Barracks, all coming online. That Stimpack still building through. Again, it's the land, a couple more drones that come up as well. Load into the medevacs. Orbital going to move across into the third base location. The SCVs going down there too. Clem is happy to play bottom of the map versus bottom of the map, right? So just setting up to essentially come in and say, yes, let's go and, you know, basically expand toward each other. I like that. Now, the Roaches probably like that a little bit too. I mean, this is always going to prefer whoever likes pushing consistently into the other, which a lot of the time is the Terran, but sometimes the Roaches get away with that as the Marines come to the top side. Queen's going to fly, a couple of Queens going to get going, the Roaches going to come about as well. The Marine's going to load back into the medevacs. And the Hellions on the bottom going to try and aim for this mineral line here. So a few drones are going to get jumped on immediately. Let's just have our Queen still chasing. The Hellion getting pushed. The Marine's going to get behind the back, and a couple drones go down there as well as Clem basically stopping Dark from accessing the gold base properly at this point in time. So just doing everything you can in that regard. Get that settled in. Again, 1-1 missile upgrades, link speed and roach speed all coming over. Infestation pit coming online as well. As the Marines step forward, roaches and lings going to take some more hits. Siege tank will pop in a few moments' time. Infestation pit's about to complete. The 1-1 upgrades are coming online. 5 more roaches on the way through. Have I heard anything about Dark's military service? Sorry, I wasn't reading chat. No. I just, as with everyone else, kind of assume it's coming up. But don't know for sure. I thought it had already been, to be honest, and no, I thought he'd already gone, and then he started playing and stuff again. So yeah, really not sure. As Arling Roach steps up, he's going to be seeing a couple of creep achievements starting to go down. The lings will be melting. So the lings don't do very well. The roaches don't have upgrades yet either, which is not helping them. So even though this is just Marines, no tanks, Clem's getting a pretty darn good trade. Man, we are just fighting this really on the anti-timing for Dark, and as he loses a few more roaches, this is not pretty. Now, he's actually built Swarm Hosts, which is a very interesting composition to go into when you're playing against a Terran, but it has worked for Dark in this map recently. We watched him play this the other day in... We watched this the other day in the other tournament recast. Was it the Monday Cup? I can't remember who he was playing against, but he did use Swarm Host effectively then. And it's not something you really expect here as Clem, although he's going to move in a position fairly quickly to deal with this. Focus is going to drop straight down, and honestly, that's not too crazy. 9 SCVs is not too much. For Clem, this is all about stabilizing, right? And just staying solid. Mr. Ravage is morphing in right now. 2 upgrades coming about, +1 vehicle weapons coming in. The other day kept delaying the Terran upgrades. Yeah, exactly. He delayed the upgrades a couple times, and then it kind of worked for him. Who was that against? I'm completely blanking. I'm completely blanking who that was against. It was Casmith Hossman. It was the WardiTV Monday Cup. Can't feel. Was it Beyond? Can't for the life of me remember, to be honest, as our Marines gonna get corrosive bile again. A couple of SCVs going down. We'll see the Swarm Host now in the main base. Gonna pop the Locust up over here. Oh, they get dropped down onto a single Marine and they're choked, which means that the tanks are gonna have an easy time clearing up. I just don't feel like Dark is getting enough out of this. Like, the damage has not really been there. And remember, he is at a disadvantage because Swarm Hosts eat up a lot of army supply, and yet they're only valid when the Locusts are out. So you've got a lot of army supply missing for a lot of the potential fights that happen. Dark's opened up the center of the map to allow a counter-attacking potential or direction over in that sort of way. Let's see some corrosive bars dropping down. This is exactly what I mean. Now you're just missing the Swarm Host, so army supply not here to help against these Marines. No Nidus across the map just yet either. Where are those Swarm Hosts? Popping out of the Nidus back at home because the head got lost over here. Stemming through the corrosive bars, loses a medevac and a tank. Arguably a bit, maybe too aggressive from Clem, really. The Swarm Host, oh, he's going to lock them out. He's going to lock them in. He's actually going to kill one with the rocks. Clem going to push the Swarm Host down the bottom. I guess that doesn't matter too much, because Locusts can't fly. He's going to get through those Locusts quickly. Ravager's trying to get the tanks. It's not good enough from Dark. And with Swarm Host on cooldown, a lot of his army supply is completely useless right now. This is going to be Clem powering through and absolutely looking as though he has got what he needs to take this game, because he's just going to keep slow pushing the tanks. His defense against the first waves of Locusts was so good. Like, he really took minimal damage, and that sets him up for success, as it looks like he's going to get himself a 2-0 here and move into the playoffs of this event. Clem keeps stepping forward. I mean, Swarmho's going to be off cooldown in a moment, but they've yet to really show that they're going to be very useful at all. These Locusts just kind of keep melting. Clem might want to step back in, let the tanks do some work. As the Locusts drop, they have to run into tank fire, which obviously doesn't help them. I think Clem's being very smart, just not letting the Locusts take too much of a role in this. GG's, and Clem takes the 2-0 over Dark in this best of 3. So Clem gets the 2-0 over Doc, and we'll head into our elimination match coming up next, which is going to be Christiana Jieshi, and then Doc will have to play another ZVP, depending on whichever of those Protoss players advances through to the decider. So that's where we are at, and that's where we are going here today, guys, in the Liuli Cup. Appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate you guys joining us. And excited to get us into a little bit more Starcraft still. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Alright, we will get that going in a moment. Usually they do obviously just have to do the videos and stuff, guys, but hopefully not too long, get into this PvP. We've got lots of games to get through today, so just gonna keep the games rolling through here. Love it. I love it, love it, love it. I honestly think Clem won when he didn't let the Swarm host pull him apart on the first wave or two of Swarm hosts. His defense against them was good. Losing a few SCVs is just inconsequential. Like, it's completely fine to lose a few SCVs at the end of the day in that scenario. Because the Swarm hosts scale so badly into the next stage, basically. So yeah. Did everyone just leave? Are we playing this on Europe? I feel like I'm on the wrong server. Everyone's just gone. No, it's not going to let me log on to Europe easily, is it? Logs you in and the error message doesn't disappear. Love it. Yeah, we're on Europe, so we're going to play this one on Europe, apparently. Some Chinese players have better connection to Europe than America, depending on their VPN on any given day, so this is not unheard of. But obviously, it's going to be very beneficial to Christiana playing with no ping. I can't believe someone reached level 500 in a Royal Match. That's crazy. Thank you so much for supporting. Level 500 is absolutely nuts. I think we get like that's like plus $10, but like it's plus like $40 overall. I can only imagine that doesn't doesn't come easily. Apparently we get gifted subs when people reach level 500 too. So yeah, apparently that's the whole thing. As I feel as though vetoes are being done. Dark Gear Swarm was on QA? Yes, Dark Gear, that was it. Gun didn't play this Monday. I just couldn't for the life of me remember which Terran it was. I was trying to think. Anyways. Videos are going on, guys. You shouldn't be long. You'll be able to kick on into this fairly soon. And go, go, go. Dum. I feel like I got a favorite Christiana coming into this one. Like Christiana's been very good lately, and with server advantage as well, it's hard not to feel as though Christiana is not going to be a hefty favorite, honestly. Do. The video should be ongoing. And try and figure out how far through they are, so I know how long we're waiting for. I should do some celebratory backflips to 500. If I could do a backflip, you'd live in a different timeline. Why Chinese players need a VPN? Because otherwise their connection to the other servers are terrible. I think it's just, you just needed to connect to outside of China. They usually have to swap VPNs based on which server they're on as well. I honestly don't know the details. I just know it's a thing. Ba-da-dum. Bum 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 bum. US East usually has the best ping. No idea why anyone will play on EU in Korea. Me neither, man. Me neither. I can't figure it out. Just doesn't make sense. Just doesn't make sense. Also, what doesn't make sense is how long they've been vetoing for. They've been here for like 12 minutes vetoing, I swear. I guess this is why I tell you guys to go download Royal Match and play it. I need to actually stream this game again because my PC was having a couple of issues last week when we were trying to stream it. It wasn't anything to do with the game. My PC just had a weird couple of days. So I need to actually get on that. Need to get on that. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Any second, guys. Take us in game. Give us some Starcraft. Oh, changing the status. I think that about a host. There it is. Lobby is up. Is it cold here? No. It's warmer than it has been. I mean, it depends what your definition of cold is. We just came out of like a frozen period. So it's a lot better right now than it had been. I had the wrong person in the lobby in the player slot, but someone fixed it before we started, so that helps. I think that's probably why it took so long. Do you ever say anything that's like serious? Or do you just constantly chat shit? Genuine question. Permanent ship poster. Nice. Alright. I'm gonna kick off into the ley lines. Let's get this going. Into a fresh PvP. Christiana looked very good PvP yesterday. Very comfortable, kind of calm, collected style. Yo, thank you so much for reaching level 20 on the Royal match. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for checking out the game and playing. Thank you so much. As, yeah, Christiana looked pretty good yesterday. Some comfortable, very kind of normal games, honestly, from him. See what he brings out today. See what Jieshi brings out. I think Jieshi has the tendency to potentially mix this up a little bit and perhaps make this quite interesting. So we'll see what happens as we get into game one of this best of 3 right now on Ley Lines. Game started. Yes, it did. Took a little while to do some vetoes, but we got there. We made it. It's okay. We're all right. We officially made it. Good to know. So, probe heading down to the bottom left-hand side. Gonna go journeying across to begin with. Two gates on the way up. Just gonna get those gateways online. We've seen that probe moving up into the main base, and we obviously start to get some scouting going here on the side of Christiana, scouting up to see what Jieshi is up to on the other side of the map. Probe in the main. Just gonna set up as well. So 2 gates in the cybercore coming through. The probes are all building. We'll see. Both players gonna have the double gates, so we will play from there and have some early game units. Christiana just straight into the sentry. Double stalk from Jieshi, maybe a little bit more on the aggressive front from him as he Gets a couple Stalkers up, maybe try and take some control. Stalker Sentry continue to come online. Just going to be able to get rid of that probe at least. Just going to clear that out. Probe continues to come over. A couple of moments. Stargate then from Jieshi and Christiana just expands immediately, so we will have... yeah, we will have the Stargate here, and a kind of the chance to give Jieshi a lot of, harassment potential. The Oracles can do a lot for you. Expecting Christiana to likely just go straight Twilight Council, probably straight to Blink. Looking to go from there as our Stalkers will poke onto the battery in the natural. Couple sentries going to come down. Couple of nibbles will be sent. Stalker's going to take some shots. Force field goes down. Stalker's going to get turned the other way. Again, the Oracle, the Warp Gate, all coming through. Twilight Council Nexus building on the side of Jieshi as well. And the Hallucination just flying up overhead. Oracle about to complete as well. Stalker's going to shoot. Another Stalker going to take some damage. And it's just going to be seeing the shots going back and forth. Twilight Council, the Nexus, the Probe, all on the way out from Jieshi currently. As you see, the Oracle continue to move down to the bottom left-hand side. For some reason, the Stalker just going to push that Oracle back around. Other Stalkers coming over. Oracle does get chased for a little bit. Oracle very low, going back in for the Revelation. A little bit risky, riskier than it needed to be. It's going to be seeing the Blink coming up. As again, our probes coming through. Third Nexus will start at the exact same time from both players, so Christiana really just has a little bit of a faster Blink here. I mean, only one Oracle available for Jieshi. I'm not sure if he's going to get much more done from that. So I feel like this is just fine on both sides. Oracle comes through, get the probe down. The Stalkers step up, the Oracle still getting chased. The Stalker's coming around, additional depth, even moving into a depth, so a little bit of harassment potential there. We got the energy overcharge on the Oracle to give that a chance to obviously, maybe provide some more harassment, and even just stasis wards. Hallucination moves into the main again, charging +1 coming online from Jieshi. Christiana with no forge, no upgrades. He has more Stalkers here, so this is a comfortable defense. It's not going to be a problem even blinking through. We'll get another kill. And we having a couple of depths coming over and a couple probes dropping. Wow, these are depths going through, and that's a lot of probes going down. So we actually get a lot of damage dealt here from Jieshi. However, Jieshi's supply is struggling army-wise, and if we just go across the map as Christiana, I wonder if we could see some serious success here. I mean, he's just got a lot more supply. There's no batteries on that third base just yet either. Stalker's coming from that left-hand side. He's going to be having the Guardian Shield coming up. Force Field coming down. Some Sentry going down already. We could Guardian Shield again, or we could save that for Force Fields. I think Guardian Shield's good, but that's actually some good Force Fields. Yeah, the cannon makes it a little scary to keep attacking into this, right? As Christiana will decide to step back and wait for charge to finish. He's got a fourth base coming up where Jieshi does not have currently. Battery, start coming through. Just going to be seeing our sentry taking a step away. He's actually going to go down. Charge still coming up as the Stalker's chase actually going to blink across here. I see our Nexus still coming through. Extra gates coming about. Continue to bring that over. I see a few more Zealots getting warped in. The blinking crew is going to be Christiana here trying to clean up this army of Jieshi, who feels like with the Zealots is kind of got potential to maybe do something, but I feel like right now the Zealots are just dying. The Stalker's blinking back nicely. Now you're going to be in an aggressive spot with your opponent Zealots arriving as well. I mean, Christiana just has better numbers here currently, and Jieshi has a warp in continuing. He will have reinforcements again soon. I can't believe he's really doubling down and still fighting this. I mean, this is going horribly wrong. The Stalker count is just not there for him. And as the fight continues, it really is pretty rough. Of course, we are going to be able to... Oh! Maybe could have hit the prism before the warp had finished. Might have been close. Now you see a couple more Zealots coming through. And it's going to fight. We see that +2 attack, Prism coming in, the additional probes coming over. I see our Stalker Zealot coming around. It's going to be seeing our extra Zealots warping. It's going to be gathering on the front of the fourth for the moment. Well, there's a few more Zealots warping in. Prism coming up from Christiana maybe gives him the chance to go across the map a little bit aggressively here. Maybe try and get something done. We see a few additional Stalkers warping through. The +2 attack upgrade building as we speak. As Jieshi is coming across the map again. Still feel like Christiana has just more army supply. I tell you what though, Yeshi's going to have a much faster +2 upgrade, so... Stalkers can get the Prism, would obviously be huge. You take rid of so much micro potential if that Prism goes down. Maybe as you clean out the Zealots here, you actually get the chance to get toward the Prism. His own Prism showing up will warp in toward this fight. His Zealots are just... He just had way more Zealots here initially, and now the Prism goes down. Yeshi's going to take a crushing defeat in this fight. I see Zealots and Stalkers continue to chase. More Zealots going down. We got a few more warp-ins coming through. We are just going to be seeing GG from Jieshi because Christiana has clearly got too much here. And Christiana will take the first game of this losers match or lower match, elimination match, whatever you want to call it. Christiana goes up by a game. And in game 2, a couple moments. Oh, stretch it out a little bit. Game 2 coming up in a few moments' time. Wait for them to get this hosted, guys. Wait, are we swapping server? We're swapping server. So apparently game 1 Europe, game 2 NA. Sure. Sure. I love this. I love swapping to NA between games when NA doesn't let me log in. Not in NA. Are they going to play Korea? Wait, where are they? Are they actually on Korea? Christiana got scammed if he agreed to play Europe, Korea, Europe. I think the Chinese players' connections to Europe, but don't get me wrong, it's not amazing, but it's not as bad as Europe to Korea is, from what I understand. Looks like this is the case. I've got no idea. Alright, well, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Do. You will join the party. The Chinese players can't log into NA. Oh, is that still broken? Oh, we're going to discuss this now, apparently. Go, go, go. How's the game? Go, go, go. Amygdala, coming up for map number 2. Krystianer saying, yeah, after this game we'll try NA because he's clearly not confident he's going to win on Korean ping. Alright, into game number 2, Amygdala. Let's see if we can bounce back. Head into this matchup. Game number 2. Christiana gets the first game. I wonder what he's going to try and do in the second game, even. Guess let's find out what his plan is, because, like I say, if he's playing on bad ping, I wonder if he'll even try and play fairly normally, or if he'll try something a bit cheesy. The problem is, Cheese oftentimes uses a lot of, micro, so maybe that's not exactly ideal given the situation. Alright, game number 2. Jieshi trying to bounce back in this elimination match as they try to stay alive to move on to play Dark in the deciders. Probe going across, again, gate coming through, a couple of simulators coming online. As we get settled here, just seeing those gates going up as the simulators come through, and again, probes in production. as we head across the map. So probes heading in a couple of different directions here to start out with. A couple gates are going to finish. We'll get some cybercore started as well. Cybercore is going to be finishing up. A couple of probes coming about, centering the warp gate, coming up on either side. As you will see, a Stalker coming through as well. So we are going to see Stalker Sentry here from Krystianer. Looks like, I mean, he clearly knows what he likes to play in this matchup. He's been doing this the last couple of days. Hey, what's up, Ardi? Thank you so much for the 11-month resub on the Prime. Love everything you do. Thank you so much. Appreciate all the kind words, mate. Appreciate it. Thank you. Sorry, I was just reading you out a couple messages. Thank you so much. Hey, who is it? Is there a name on the level 20? No, but it's a level 20 on the Royal Match. Thank you so much for checking it out. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Probe facility moving. We do have the next in the Twilight Council coming up. Sentry production continues. That's Christiana and Jieshi both get their expansions up and online here for the moment. A couple Stalkers and Sentries make their way about. Sentry's going to nibble at hallucinations, some damage done, blink on the way, Nexus coming up. Probably Immortal coming through from Jieshi here as well. Stalkers and Sentries moving over. Extra units warping in. Twilight Council and the Immortal coming up. So Jieshi going to be going into that Twilight just obviously later because he's going for the Robo. I think the plan right now here is that you're basically just saying as... You're basically just saying as Christian, you're just like, okay, well, I'm just going to go with my normal stuff. But Yeshi's like, okay, I'm going to be very defensive. I'm going to make it very difficult for him to just do much in a bad micro scenario. As the hallucination continues to move overhead. Dark Shrine on the way up, the Prism still building. Hallucination still coming across. We have the Dark Shrine as the choice from Jieshi. Just going to try and catch Christiana completely off guard. And Christiana is skipping the Robo. So, problem is, he actually scouts the Dark Shrines. Now Christiana will have a chance to build this into play. He's going to be able to do this correctly, which is going to get the Robo up, he can get the detection out, and now he's going to be able to nullify those DTs a little bit, and that will give him a chance to maybe take advantage of the faster blink. We'll see how easily the DT defense comes. He'll have the tools, but obviously he's still got to figure out defending it, right? You know, you still got to be in the right position. You can't just go across the map and leave nothing at home defensively. Prism sets up. Again, the extra couple gates coming online. The Nexus coming over. And Forge Gateway continue to build the Prism around the top as our Blink comes up from Jieshi. Just going to get Blink on the way. Warp Gate coming over. Forge is going to build as well. Prism unloads and the DT will step forward. A couple of probes already going to start dropping. 1, 2, 3. Already going down. The Stalker's going to get hit back the other direction a little bit as well. DT in the natural, I mean, this is what shouldn't be happening, right? When you know it's coming. But the Prism play helps out. We're going to try and chase that DT down. We could try and blink on top and trap it, but he misses the trap. And now a DT warps into the main base as well. So Jieshi getting some serious damage done to Christiana. Not in the best of spots. Just going to see that DT lifting up, moving back into the Prism. Well, he does a lot of the damage here with the Adept play, so and does a lot of what the DTs have been up to. 9 workers down both sides. That isn't so bad. Unfortunately, Christiana, he's kind of wasted his entire Blink advantage, and now you're in a game where it's going to be Blink versus Blink, but your opponent also just has Immortals already, so it's definitely going to be a little bit of an issue here. There's a couple of DT swipes still coming about. And +1 coming up on both sides. All the probes are coming about. We just start charging our Nexus building from Jieshi. So he's just going to go straight to base number 4. I mean, as Christiana looks at this, he sees Immortals, he sees Stalkers. I'm Christiana right now. I'm not looking at this and thinking, oh good. I'm looking at this and thinking, oh crap. Just the fact your opponent has a bunch of Immortals puts him in such a better place. I mean, like I say, the Blink window has shut, and missing that opportunity, I think, is really going to be pretty decisive here at the end of the day. DT's still finding probes as well, so still having to try and deal with that at this point is not exactly fun. Stalker's trying to get down the bottom, going to hit that Nexus down for cancel. So we do cancel the 4th. Christiana doing what he can so far. We've seen a couple of units going to start stepping through, just trying to see what's up. Comes back around. And Jieshi coming up to the top. So that supply lead. I mean, honestly, supply lead, but also the fact his army's going to be so much better. You see the Stalker's going to get there. Prism will take a few more shots. Stalker's going to get the Prism, but already units in the base. And like I said, I think Yeshi's force in the front is just going to be way too powerful. So see now Nexus going down. Yeah, I mean, not really. I mean, just a tough position for Christiana. Like I say, this army of Jieshi is very good in comparison, and I think in general you can kind of see what the problem, or how the problem sits at, is the army still steps through. Jieshi going to keep pressing forwards. He is getting a 4th base up behind this. He's killing the workers in the main base as well. And it's tough for Christiana having to play on, obviously, rough ping. That's what Jieshi had to do on Europe as well, so Christiana a little bit less prepared for it. I do think the Chinese players have had some experience playing on Europe, to be honest. Not trying to say it's great, just experience does help a lot. A little bit of practice goes a long way. As Christiana going to try and expand to the right-hand side of the map now instead. Just going to switch directions with that. Model Stalker Archon still setting up. Level 4 still trying to trap some of the Stalkers in. I mean, if you lose this base as Christiana, you're losing so much of the economy that you really need to hang on to stay in this. Can he find a defense? Like I say, his army comp's still worse. 5 Immortals. Hitting Stalkers is just going to be a good time. A couple of Archons to tank and knock some probes down easily. Christiana's supply is melting away, as it looks like we will get to a 1-1 tied up situation in this best of 3, and we will go to a 3rd map between Christiana and Jieshi. Alright, so we're going to go to a 3rd map here. We're going to go and see what happens And what server we're going to play on as well. I mean, I guess we go back to Europe? I guess? I don't know. Guess we'll find out very soon. They all logged off. Didn't say which server to go to. I'm gonna assume Europe again, because they said they couldn't get to NA. Can't even tell what server I'm meant to be on. Boom, boom. Might be NA. It doesn't matter for me anyways, I just can't log in. I'm not on Europe, so I'm gonna try America. Yeah, can't log into NA either. Nice. Always very exciting when you can't quite get online probably. So Christiana's here. None of the Chinese guys are here, so I just don't think they can connect to NA. So maybe we're not going to be on NA? Question mark. Oh no. Okay. One of our Chinese caster made it to NA. Can our player make it to NA? Now the question. Been watching the streams for a few weeks now. They've added a lot to your one routine. Really appreciate the work and content. Hell yeah. Good morning to you. Thanks so much for watching some games. Appreciate it. I appreciate it. I think Jieshi's trying to log into NA, but currently can't. Yeah, trying to figure this out, guys. Just came online on Battle.net, so maybe relogging. Doesn't look like it's working, to be honest. Don't look like it's working. Jieshi trying to connect to. NA still. Dog might fall asleep waiting for his match. Okay, some delays just because we're waiting for an attempt to log in. We're gonna go to Europe. Alright. Show Clem. I would show you Clem if Clem was still here, guys. Clem already won his games. If you want to see Clem, go rewind the VOD. Boom, boom, boom. Can't log in again. Thanks so much. Original level 20. I'll read a couple of those out in a moment. I'm just trying to guess in the game. We did have a couple of people pop through. We had Mad Alien and Uncle Hoobry both coming through on the level 20s on the Raw match. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for checking out the stream sponsor. Thank you. Thank you. As lobby's coming up on Europe, guys. Sorry for the delay. We got this underway. Alright. Other people still logging in. We should be able to go into this in a few moments, guys, as we get Jieshi vs Christiana deciding map. The winner of this plays Dark in a decider best of 3 to decide the final placements of this group. So that is where we are at. Let's kick this off. And thanks for waiting through the delays. They were trying to make different servers work, but obviously wasn't happening. And now we get to go. Heading into Frostline. In the bottom left-hand side, our blue Protoss player is Christiana. As we get tied at 1-1, back on the European server, Christiana should be a bit of a favorite, I think, just for that alone. As we have in the top right, our red Protoss, it is Jieshi. Frostline map. A little bit more of an aggressive one. As I get gateways coming online, let's see what's going to happen. So, a couple of probes going to be moving across to the other side of the map. A couple of gates coming through, the assimilators coming up, probes in production for these early stages. Move up to the high ground, a couple of gates coming online. And again, just going to be seeing our probes coming through for a little bit here, so just going to get that on the way. Again, the gateway, the cybercore continue to come about for just a little while. Just going to have ourselves the pylons coming through. So cybercore's coming up, got our gates coming through, the probes on the way. Get this up and running here nicely so far. Oh, we have ourselves the sentries continuing to come up. It's just going to bring those over. And the Stalker Sentry just going to build, and we might just see a fairly standard first few minutes of this game again. May not be anything too crazy going on there to begin with, at least. Now a robot facility then on the way up on the side of Jieshi. I honestly do like what he played last time, but I do think Krystianer really just missed his time in window to have the blink advantage and do something with that. Eventually just ended up having no advantage himself, and his opponent had, just a bunch of immortals basically. Is not exactly ideal. Until I cancel building up, just going to be having our robot facility and Nexus continue to come through as well. The Sentry going to nibble for a couple of moments. We continue through with that blink at the moment. The prison coming online, we just get that going. And then the gateway coming online as well as the probe and the prism continuing to build for the moment. Well, Sentry is going to go hit the hallucination. Like I say, we just get that Immortal coming through. I do think it's a good idea for Jieshi, especially if you're playing with bad ping. Like, opening Immortals just doesn't require heavy micro or anything, so I think this does a lot for you. Hallucination still moving across, as we just have the Immortal and the Nexus on the way through. I'm already there from Jieshi as well, so can absolutely get involved and maybe go and deal some damage, put on some pressure. This is peak SET audio, I know. This really is top tier. Let's just see how Stalkers and Sentry's going to begin to move over. And we're just going to be setting up. A few Stalkers going to hit this Nexus for a little bit. Just going to see a couple of units warping in. Forces coming down across the board. The Sentry's going to take some damage. I see those couple of Mortals continue to come through. And they're just going to come around the side. Going to get another Sentry picked away out here. I'm just going to be seeing a few probes continuing over for the moment. Again, a couple of devs right in the main base. I don't know why we don't shade there. I guess because he already has damage available on the main, but on the natural, but really that was just a given for Christiana. Why not go into the main base? Yeah, like, there was no... I mean, I guess you don't know there's no defense there. You don't have the vision. And you already had a good position on the natural, so yeah, okay, fair enough. Just a little bit surprised. Stalker's moving over. A couple of Adepts going to fire up, and a few more probes keep going down. The Stalker's still going to be there. +1 attack and Resonating Glaives coming up as the Adepts and the Immortals come through. Just going to see a few more probes going down. Actually going to catch one of the normals here. This is exactly what I meant when I talked about that kind of blink time in the last game. And you know, Christiana just never really utilized it, and he's utilizing it so well. He's going to straight up kill the third base, and we're going to see Jieshi being on an Immortal Glaved Adept all in. He's not going to kill the third because we recall there, but now we're just going to roll over towards the main. And the thing is, you're warping in Adepts, which are not going to do very well at all to kind of defend a moment like this. So we're just going to blink up. They're going to go after the Robo Facility. I love that target. Yikes. I mean, honestly, you finished that off. There's no way you let more Immortals pop out here. Just no reason to. Back to the third base, which is going to die as well. And that's going to be, honestly, at this point for Jieshi, I think you should already type GG. I don't even think you should try to go across the map. I just told it there's any point. Let's see if the Stalker's still fighting. The Immortal take a little bit more damage. The Adept's going to take some shots. I mean, you're setting up to all in and you're just dying yourself. It's not looking pretty. GG says Jieshi. That's going to be that. Alright, Christiana 2-1. He'll move on to play against Dark in the decider match. Guys, what I'm going to do is, just because this went a little bit longer because we had a lot of downtime, I'm actually just going to start with OSC games because I have something to try to get to later. And I want to just make sure that we don't run into time issues. So, if you guys want to watch the Christiana Dark match, you can watch it on Roddy's stream. We're going to go and start OSC now instead. So, we're going to just swap tournaments one series early. Just to make my days run a little bit smoother. Hope that's good with you guys. I apologize for a little bit of confusion. On YouTube, I'm actually going to send you guys to a different stream, so you guys will get redirected to the new stream in a couple of moments, just because we're switching events. And, yeah, let me just change the brackets and stuff, and we'll move into OSC. Alright, cool. Alright, YouTube, you'll get sent to a different stream, BRB.